our Night Car Tech Enablement Thursdays. The show and tell of the webinar is going to be a walkthrough through my technology and others discussing the high value, high impact ways you can use technology to improve your business. If you have questions, you can use the chat on the bottom right. Throughout the walkthrough, the chat, if we see a question, we will try to answer it without fail. Most likely we'll get to it. We might have to get to it at the end. Time will tell. And let's do one last audio video check. David, you can see and hear me, I'm assuming. If you could just say hello, unmute, then remute, just so I know you're functional.
I am here. I can hear you.
Perfect. For those just joining the call, we're going to get started in just a minute. This is the December segment of the Night Car Tech Enablement Thursday, hosted by CRECo.ai, my company. As a founder, broker, and real estate developer. I'm proud to say it's built by real estate professionals, talking to you as a real estate professional to help you solve your needs today. As it's now 2 minutes past the hour, we're going to start to walk through this. And as people join, ignore the ding. But if you have questions, please put them in the chat, and we will try and get to all of them. So, get ready, get set, close. How to set yourself up for success in 2021. Sure, we'll all agree that 2020 was rough with a lot of changes, though many of whom are joining this call and others didn't even know what Zoom was. Myself, I was out there talking about how Twitter and Instagram were useless, and Facebook were useless for real estate, not LinkedIn, but the others, and all of that has changed. COVID has changed the way we operate. We're working remotely. We are working to identify new products being real estate for our investors, counseling our owners to make sure that they're making the right moves. And how do we do all that? How do we get ready for 2021? Well, today we're going to walk through how to define and create your digital twin with the CRECo.ai platform. What I mean by digital twin is who you are online out to the industry. Because make no mistake, people are out there looking for real estate professionals in markets like yours to do business. Excuse me. The CRECo.ai platform allows you to come in and define your specialties, your asset focus, and your history with a living and breathing business card. This is who I am. This is what I do. These are the assets I'm involved in. And we do all, again, sorry for the dings. We do all of this for one reason, because our mission is to drive technology enablement into companies, real estate companies, so they can flourish and thrive. To do that, we know that the 8,000 technology companies out there have to become connected. You have to become connected through your technology out to your audience, and your technology has to connect to each other. So we built a middleware, a place where you can exist, own your data, and have your data presented wherever you need it, including listing portals, CRM systems, and others. And David will talk about that in a moment. And because we are a middleware, friends to everyone and competitors to none, we have the ability to take the way you do business and replicate it online, connecting all of the different systems together to let you operate much faster. More importantly, let you focus on what you do best, the business of selling real estate. So, setting yourself up for success. Who are you? Who are you in 2021? Are you a tech-enabled real estate professional? Are you using the right tools to identify the right assets? By coming in, defining who you are here in CRECo, that's step one. Bringing your properties on is a seamless experience. They can be added one by one, as well as past projects, past transactions, through either our partners, into our system, out to our partners. Basically an aggregate source of truth. Step two, this is who I am around the portfolio, my services. That includes capital as well as project managers. We've just rolled out with the associated builders and contractors. Why? Because you need these people to get deals done, and you're not out meeting them at trade shows. So where do you meet them? You connect them through the collaborative, through the network. To do this in a way that everyone would understand, we gave them the simplest way forward, the ability to search for assets nationwide in a language we all know, class, price, size, and location. And as these assets are being found, we start to surface the right data at the right time to the users. This is a completely open and public system in this regard. This allows us to maximize your exposure in our system itself, and we're going to go outward from there. But as a user, whether it's an investor, a lender, or a broker, comes into the system, finds an asset on Google, they're then given the tools, the information to get the confidence they need to act on said asset. So here we have Palatine, Illinois, $3.5 million assets. We can go for demographics, underwriting information. We can reach out to the parties involved. Most importantly, we've started to surface more information from our partners. Now, every CRECo platform is unique to its user in that we, through our learning and through our predictive analytics, are starting to surface information we find and our users are showing us to be important. But if you have any feeds or any data from some other system, we will populate it here and show it here. Pradeep and David and I will both touch on this, but case in point is our LANDCHECKS data. The LANDCHECKS system is your land due diligence. It's going to tell you what's going on in your market, including permitting. And my favorite as a broker is my economic data, real time. Updating data in real time is 30 days in commercial real estate. That's how long it takes something to get recorded at town hall. So 30-day economic growth data, indicators, job growth, vacancy rates, unemployment. Should my investor or my tenant or my partner or me as a builder developer, should I be doing business in this market? Is it stabilizing? Is it improving? Well, why is it improving? Let's drill down and find out. And you can generate these reports alongside your property reports. So step one, define yourself so you can be found with your assets, past and present. You are contacted when your services are needed. Step two, give you the tools or provide the tools, the way to get the information you need to take this to the next level, to present it to the right parties. Starting first with the economic growth indicators in real time, visually presented, and then moving on to land due diligence, zoning, what's happening at what parcel. Now, these are partner technologies. Keep in mind, we're a hub. We integrate and pass things. We present what needs presenting, and then we pass when we need to pass. So LANDCHECKS, for instance. But before I go into that part of the conversation, I want to go first over distribution of you, your profile, and your business. So here you are, you exist, you're being found on our platform, but that's just one small network. It's growing, but it's still a small one. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the internet, these are huge networks. So our system has built into it these connectivity engines that will allow you to take your data, in this case your living and breathing profile, and push it out across your social networks. Why? Well, that's where your audience is. So I do, as a brokerage, very little marketing. We have our assets, most of which are off market, 200 million. We have 400 agents, 13 offices in partnership with Higgins Group over 3 states. The brokerage itself, my team runs that while I am here in the tech world, courtesy of my wife and partner. Case in point, here it is running itself. Because my assets, my team, my company is on CRECo.ai, the system can promote out all of those things to the industry. So then the industry calls back. And I don't mean that figuratively, I mean literally. I get 1 to 2 Google calls a week now from people who are in a market looking for commercial agency that are finding us because our content is being populated across all of these channels in an authentic and coordinated way, including YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So for those of you who don't know, I was the guy who said that Twitter was for those who couldn't write and Instagram is for those that can't read. The problem is our clients are there. They expect to be there. They expect you to be there, So the fact that we now have 2,000 impressions a day on our properties, and we can show this engagement, this level of interest through COVID, and we're closing 80% of the assignments we take through these channels and traditional deal making, speaks for itself as you continue to look through these numbers. And as a broker, there's nothing better than walking in and saying, here, this is what I do, and this is why I'm better. And to that end, I go in with our dashboard, with this data, with those charts being presented, so they already know who I am. They're seeing me through all their friends. Then I'm even able to go ahead and pull up my nearest competitor. And without directly saying that I do better or I am better, I let the numbers speak for themselves. Here's who I am and what we do. Here's who they are and what they do. Who do you think the client's going to pick? The guy who's tech-enabled, who's got data to back up what he's showing you, who is forward-thinking, or one that, although is great at what they do, isn't quite there. And again, this is not to say that Angel isn't great. We go and do a lot of deals together. They're just not in the markets I'm in. They're not using the tools I'm using. They're traditional brokerage in and of themselves. The My Social tool takes it even further, not only posting out your profile, your postings, your deals, as well as any news, but it gives you the ability to come in, look at the most active time to post something out to your networks, and allow you to create that message, send it, review it, and then adjust it. So giving you the intelligence to be out there in a way that's smarter, faster, better than everyone else. Everybody with me? I'm just checking for questions here to the right. Sorry about my Coton de Tulier. It came with my wife, and it's barking at the mailman. Give me 1 second here. I'm sure she'll quiet down in a moment. So as you're out there being presented digitally, it's just like going to a trade show, only the system does it 24/7, 365. You then now have the ability to find more business or solidify the business you have by doing a few things. One, reaching out to your owners and saying, hey, this is what's happening from an economic due diligence standpoint. This is our market. This is now back in Connecticut where we do business. This is my broker profile. For those that don't know, we only show real data, never a demo site. This is one of the largest owners in the state, and his property is in one of the few positive growth areas for development and economic turnaround, even amidst COVID. And that's an incredible thing to say and show. And it helps me sell my investor on why he needs to come closer to my seller on that 37% gap between what they want to pay and what the seller's willing to sell for. So that's the NAI number, just quoted last quarter, this quarter. That's the difference in expectation between buyer and seller. So armed with the right data, you can go to your existing clients and help them make the right decisions and then execute for them. If you're in the development world, you can identify markets where you'll be able to pick up distressed assets and act on them. On to LANDCHECKS. So we've identified an asset, we've identified some past and present value, but now we need to know what's happening in that actual market. So let me just jump over here. I'm going to log in directly for LANDCHECKS. With our system, the purpose is to actually just bring you over directly, as with all of our partnerships, to save you even more time. I know in 2005, I was logging into 11 different platforms. So LANDCHECKS is based out of Atlanta. To give you an idea of how their system works, we know the economics of a market. We know who in the market. I've typed into Baker Street. Now I can look up the cell towers. Where's the coverage for cell towers? Well, obviously they've got 5G, but more important to the development side, what's going on the EPA standpoint? Where are the brownfields located? Where can I come in and make a real impact or find real value to make change, including foreclosure data, landfill, and opportunity zones. My personal favorite here is zoning all day long. I'm not at town hall like I used to be, certainly now that I'm in tech. Oh, actually, I'm there more often because of technology like this, because this technology lets me know in the market I'm doing business in exactly what's happening. So I'm not going to go develop a continued care facility when there's 5 more in approval at zoning. That's not going to work. But if I know what's happening down to this level in this market, or even across, let's say, my portfolio, all of a sudden I can make moves ahead of my competitors. And that is the competitive advantage of aggregating your data. Remember, we started on CRECo.ai, we identified something in a way we understand. I like industrial, I like this location, I like this size, I like this value. Or I like this person because I do business with them. Now I'm able to drill down into that actual market and say, well, what can I do in this market? What makes sense? Well, obviously residential is moving. There's no surprise to anyone on this call. Everybody needs homes. They're all moving out of the big cities, as I understand it, at least in the Connecticut area. Pradeep, is there an Illinois address I can jump over to just to make this the most relevant for the group?
You can try another Chicago Metro.
Just type in Chicago?
No, Chicago Metro. You need to have, I don't know exactly. Let me see. Any Chicago Metro address.
All right. Hold on 1 second. All right, so let's go back. Let's go to the home page. Let me find a Chicago address. How about that? So we'll find one in our system. Search network. It's just as simple as that. Slowdown in speed means one of my kids is on their PS4, so bear with us there. At least the dog has quieted down. Now, as this profile loads in, keep in mind that your data can come from anywhere. If it's a PDF, if it's in an MLS, if it's in a CIE, if it's on an Excel sheet, we will help ingest it and then make it readily available to move it to whatever platform you want to. As this loads, if you have other technologies you're using, if they're not willing to connect with other platforms, you should ask why. Because at the end of the day, your data does have value, and it is your data, which you're readily giving away for free, when in fact it gains more and more value over time. Here. There we go. So let's do 2234, right? Development site for Geneva. Come down here to LANDCHECKS. And we are off to the races. Search. Remember now, I've got to uncheck this and let it go back through. So in this area, we've now shifted back over to the greater Chicagoland area. We're back to cell towers. Notice some of these are different. It's because there's different data sets for different counties. So depending on the data feeds you have or can gain access to, this will change, and we can customize this within our dashboard and others for you. But even again, zoning. Well, let's see. Special use permit, medical office. Okay, not bad. Location change, use permit. So it looks to me like offices are moving, businesses are opening, some downsizing. Increase the number of liquor licenses, and recession-proof as always. And I'm not seeing any major development going on. No surprise, but in the new year, those of us who buy land on the call are moving land. The opportunities are there. Restaurants are opening, as you can see. And I'm just glancing over this. I'm used to reading it. As you go into the dashboard view, you can see it visually. So it's easy for you to understand, and it's easy for you to relay over to your clients. And maybe that's not the best idea. There are enough self-storage units going on in this exact area.
Can you come down Andreas, can you come down the same screen a little bit down? There's a third row.
No, it won't let me scroll any further from here.
But there's a small
whatever
on the right side arrow should be existing there.
I see. So proposed occupancy. This browser's a pain. Yeah. See, restaurants are actually the ahead of your single family permits, which makes sense because every time I go to Chicago, I eat some of the best food around. Candidly. Now, that all being said, let's bring it all back and do a once over, and I'm going to hand the reins over to David over at Quantum to talk more about crowdsourced distribution, listings, and actually moving business. So, setting yourself up for success in 2021 starts with defining yourself. As you define your business plan for the new year, who are you? How do you communicate that to the industry? Define it here. Then add in your past deals, add in your current deals. So your credibility, not credibility, but your credibility and your reputation are here in a digital format that can be shared. Move over into the My Social tool and the My Network tool. Upload your network to communicate with your network of real estate professionals and ours. So if you have your own database, which we all do, rest assured you can use our tool to communicate with them more effectively without bringing them online. But once they come online, the information will start updating automatically. And you can search, filter, and follow anything you need to follow. So finding assets, finding the right deal makers, being presented to the right technologies, and then most importantly, presenting you out to new business or keeping you in front of your existing business so you're at their top of mind when they need your services through the My Social tool, which is a step-by-step guide on what, when, and where to start using and getting full value out of these audiences. Case in point, Facebook as an example. As you can see, our impressions are on the rise. Here we go. I get more engagement talking about assets than I do talking about my team. Oh wait, no, my team does. So I'm promoting my team. And these are the insights you start to learn. When to promote what, how often. As you can see, our engagement, our growth is on an uptick. And as far as Google My Business and LinkedIn, and I will show you what this looks like in a heavier fashion. 53 impressions on Google Maps, clicks to my website, reviews. It's all here for you. So you set it, you forget it, the system will go to work on your behalf, up to and including YouTube, posting the videos. And again, these are areas we're very, very light on, but you can see how simple just one video, what one video will do when you promote it across multiple channels. These posts, this growth, and this will show you how much I didn't believe in Twitter. If I go back to March, I go to today, so the last 6 months. July, nothing. And then you see the uptick grow. All the posts, all the growth. Why? People following me. Who's following me? Well, what are they talking about? How do I talk better? This growth, which is thousands of percentage of growth, 78% increase in interactions. These are all potential clients that we can do business with and will do business with and are now starting to. The ability to post and plan. Put your deals out and your authentic self out because you still need to write some original content. Could be as simple as talking about your market rates or a deal you've just done as in a press release. Pick where it goes, hit save, and it will go out for you. The system will automatically put in your properties, your team, and your company, promoting them out to the industry, on demand and on a schedule that will improve the return. Lastly, here we can also give you the ability to have links on Instagram, and we give you full support through our enterprise service for marketing. With that, I'm going to turn over to Quantum Listing, David Perlmutter, as one of our partners. If you're with him, you're with us, because the mentality of the 2.0 technology network, the next generation, is the same one that has been tried and true in real estate forever. The more hands we shake, the more deals we do. If we work together, we can get more done. David, I'm going to go ahead and make you co-host. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Andreas. It's wonderful to be here with you and to get the opportunity to talk to the nice folks in Chicagoland and the rest of Illinois. So Andreas has really brought together a really wonderful suite of technologies, and I'm happy to say that Quantum Listing is part of that group. And it really does make things a lot easier for the brokerage community and the commercial real estate community. I don't want to limit it to brokers. And Quantum Listing is a commercial real estate listing service. And we, like you, Andreas, and the folks on the call, I am a broker. I've been a developer, and I, came to start Quantum Listing from, a need to sort of solve my own pain points. And, the legacy companies that I was dealing with got much more expensive. They made it harder for my potential, tenants and buyers to find my listings by requiring, premium membership and things like that. So, I started to create the listing service with my team that I would want to use. And, I hope it's one that you want to use too. We've, grown tremendously over the last few years. And, one of the things that distinguishes us from some of the other services out there is that, we're very reasonably priced. And as Andreas has taught me, we're a 2.0 technology, meaning that we, offer you the opportunity to be a participant in our service at a very low price. And then to the extent that you need and want additional things to market your service, your own services, your brokerage, your properties, we give you those tools that you need. And we also give you great analytics so that you can figure out where you need to, apply a little more time and money perhaps to get to the finish line on your deals. We are a crowdsourced service, meaning that you are responsible for adding your listings for a slight uptick in our fee. We'll do that for you. If you are users of Build Out or Sharp Launch, you can syndicate your listings to us directly from those services, so it makes things super easy. Quantum Listing and CRE Collaborative have this back and forth link. So if you're one of our premium members, you'll have the opportunity to share all your listings with CRE Collaborative and enhance your data with the wonderful tools that they have accumulated as well. So I'm going to, here, let's see if I can share my screen. Okay, there we go. And just gonna find the right, there we go. Yeah, okay. All right, I think, there we go.
I can see.
I think here we go.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen now?
Yep, good sizing, good, good view.
Okay, very good. So, and let me just see if I can get rid of that. Okay, all right. So here is a tip, the page that shows listings. When you come to our site and look at listings, you'll notice that the listings that you see here are the newest listings that have been added to our site. So when you add a listing, you'll get your place in the sun there at the first, and it's always nice because you get lots of views when you're on the front page, as I'm sure all of us recognize from our own behaviors on search engines like Google. It's 90+% of us don't go past the first page. Of course, you can search for whatever it is that you're looking for and find it very easily. And then when you are searching in particular markets that you're interested in, one thing that you might want to do is boost your listing so that you can ensure that it will get the most eyeballs possible by being at the top of searches. And to the extent that you're hungry for more views than we can provide on our site, we've created this really wonderful widget for you where you can, with a few clicks, start showing your listing on the Google Display Network. The Google Display Network serves the ads to the websites that your customers are looking at normally. It could be a news site, it could be website, any place that serves advertisement on the web. And the Google Display Network serves, I think, 85% of the ads that you see on other websites. So, and you can also localize that. So the default is going to be to show your listing in the market where it's located. But if you say, well, my listing is in Palatine, but I really think it's going to be bought by a investor from Chicago, you can choose to not show it in Palatine at all and just show it in Chicago. Or if you think that you can have it show in Palatine and Chicago, you could have it show in Chicago and New York. So there is some flexibility, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this. It's only $25 to get started on, and you can spend 25, 50, or 100, and the only difference between how much you're spending there is the amount of days that your ad is going to run. And for that $25 spend, you are going to get thousands and thousands of views of your listings, and hopefully a couple dozen clicks on it. And one of the nice things about having Google on your side is they have these incredible machine learning algorithms that make sure that your ad is getting served to an affinity group that is most likely to be interested in commercial real estate. So, hopefully it won't be it shouldn't be a bunch of teenage video gamers. Not that there's anything wrong with teenage video gamers, but it should be going to
commercial assets. Yeah.
Not yet. I guess the ones who are the esports champions might be, but most of them aren't. And so
I think what you're touching on points back to us a bit, and it's important to note. So Google understands predictive analytics, and Netflix, the reason you get presented certain movies, understands predictive analytics, and the Google Display Network takes your traffic, your behavior, and based on your age, your money, stuff you don't even want to know how much tracking, they then, what you're saying, David, is present these properties to you because they know that you may have an interest.
Yes.
And that is, for those on the call that don't know, that is next generation marketing. That's follow me around marketing. that you just don't realize. And that's the power of this. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify that for those.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And we're also working on thing, and it may even be implemented by now, the ability for, if somebody clicks on one of your listings and they fill out your lead capture form, that will pop up after 15 seconds, or they can push a button to say that, hey, I want to get more information on your listing. Those people are going to start getting served listings on those websites all over, wherever they are, as well.
So It'll keep following you.
Yes. Like that pair of shoes that you clicked on the Zappos website that keeps following you wherever you go. That's going to start happening with your listings in short order. So
it's important because investors take time, just like anyone else.
Yeah.
We look and
absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching a football game, why are there 7,000 Ford F-150 commercials? It's because they know that repetition works, and the more somebody sees your Ford F-150 or your warehouse for sale, the more likely it is that they're going to finally say, you know what, I really do want to get some information on that. Let me click and get in touch with this broker. So, I think that's really very important. One other thing I'd like to point out to you is also that if you are trying to build your brand in your market, we can make your marketing message show up right here. Not just your listing. Your listing could be right here next to your marketing message, and your marketing message here, and you get sort of like a 1-2 punch of you being an expert in your area, because your message is going to be there saying, you've been doing this for 25 years and you've closed $10 billion worth of deals next to your next, $150 million, development project. So, there are lots of ways that you can get that exposure. When you do add your listings, we'll put them in a queue to send out to our social media. But the My Social tool on CRE Collaborative gives you the power to do that, as and when you want to. When you're in our queue, you're sort of at the mercy of how many posts we're allowed to do per day on LinkedIn or Facebook. Twitter, it's it's a free for all. You can send as many things to Twitter in a day as you want, but for the others, you can't. And to the extent that you, in those, in CRE Collaborative, when you're doing My Social, if you tag CRE Collaborative or you tag Quantum Listing in those, we're going to show the love back to you, and we're going to like it, and we're going to share it, and all these things, amplify it so that they'll show up higher up in searches on those different platforms as well. So to the extent that you can bring a community into things, you're doing yourself a big favor there. So CRE Collaborative's My Social tool is like super powerful and really gives you the ability to, harness your network and leverage them in addition to just what you can do by yourself. I think, together we go a lot further than we go alone. So I think that's really
the greatest, not to jump in, the funniest thing is when a broker on ours or an investor first uses the My Social tool, and we promote their profile out for the first time, and we watch as 40, 50, 100 of their colleagues go, congratulations, or you're in real estate? Oh, I have a need. And that's, the guy down the hall. And it's, your friends, your colleagues, we'll all work with you, I think is the point. And you want to be in as many authentic places as possible. Quantum Listing is one of those platforms where you can really grow and be found. Sorry, go ahead.
And so, just to give you an example of what happens when you do advertise on the Google Display Network. Here, I'm going to show you this past week, I advertised one of my listings. It's a incredibly beautiful restaurant building for sale in northern Westchester County, New York. And as you can imagine, during the middle of a pandemic where you really can't pack into a restaurant the way you used to, there's not as much interest in this incredible restaurant building as there ought to be. So, what can I do to get my principal satisfied that I'm making every effort possible? I mean, I am, emailing hundreds of restaurants and making calls, but that is not enough in a market like this for an asset like that. If I had a warehouse, anywhere in the New York area, I could sell it 10 times over. But a restaurant in today's world is unfortunately not as easy to sell. So here's the Mohegan Lake restaurant. So I've drilled down to the single asset, and I've advertised it a couple of times on the Google Display Network. So the first time I advertised it, I got 48,365 views, and this is with I don't remember if it was a $25 or $50 spend, but it was no more than that. And then the second time, which was definitely $50, I got 54,000 views, and this is over the space of 7 or 8 days. So I'm really getting a lot of views, and you can see here, this is, I guess Google for some reason chose to run the ad every other day, but the first day it ran, it got 10,000 plus views. The next day, 10,000 plus views, and it really started to ramp up as the week went on. So 15,000 views, and then 17, almost 18,000 views. So it really is getting, attention, and the clicks are. Hang on, let's get okay. So the clicks, it got 16 clicks on that last day. The other day it got 6. It got 12 another day.
So for less than the cost of a ticket to attend ICSC Chicago deal making as a ticket, you're gonna get the same audience level. That's what.
Yeah, basically for what you would pay for parking, you get tens of thousands of views if you're listing, and dozens of clicks on it. And Becca Carlson, who was your night card chairperson a year or so ago, has used this, and she is a huge fan. Becca knows how to do Google Display Network ads on her own. However, she has opted to start using our version of it instead, because it's so much easier to just do a couple of clicks on our site than it is to, set up the whole thing where you have to, select your audience, make sure there's enough people in the audience so that the ad will go live. And setting them up yourself, I can tell you, is a job in itself. So, we've made it really easy for you, and we've given you this power to reach almost everybody in your market, with just a few clicks and not a big spend. You probably spend more on a bottle of scotch than you spend on this. So it's, I really would encourage, and we know it works because the people who do these ads do them again and again. And Becca has given us a written testimonial, which I think we used in one of our blog posts, where she had gotten a great lead from somebody she never would have reached before, because it was a residential broker who had a commercial buyer. So it really does expand your network, unbelievably, beyond where we could do it all by ourselves. So I do encourage you to try that. And just to see, promoted banners, if you're using those, that's the brand promotion stuff. You can reach, here I've reached almost 60,000 people with my marketing message by using that over the last, I guess, year and change. And the promoted listings, I've reached over 117,000 people who may not have seen my listing otherwise. And the promoted listings are $7.50 a month. So we're not saying, you really have to empty out the vault to do these things. One of the things, my dad was in the supermarket business, and, I was drilled into me from a very young age that you do high volume, low margin business, and, that's how you keep your customers and make them happy and get them to tell their friends about you. So thanks, Dad. We're up in heaven, and I appreciate that advice. And I want to pass it on to you because I think it really does work. And I think it's something that I would encourage you to do, whether or not it was my business or not. So.
Well, the resounding theme here being you have to be where your audience is. You've got to get in front of them. PDFs don't cut it. Networking, I can't wait to get back to a networking event. Don't get me wrong. I miss seeing everyone in Chicago and Vegas and other events. As much as I love my monthly broker luncheon by Zoom, it's haphazard, and I think, David, you solve that here also. Don't you have a have and needs and wants group per market that you also get to take advantage of?
Yes, we do. Thank you for bringing that up. So for each state, we've created haves and wants marketing groups. So you can talk about your listing. In that you can put a live link to the listing as well, and everybody who is in your group. And different states have different numbers, but in Illinois we've got hundreds of users there. Everybody who's a registered member is going to get an email saying, "Hey, you've got a new notification. You've got a notification that there's somebody's posted something in your group. Check it out." So we try to gently push people to come back to the site and have a look at your listing for you. And of course, we do have a new email blast service. So if you want to get a little more direct and in their face, we can help you out with that as well. So there's lots of ways and that we can really help you reach as many people as possible. And we're not going to bleed you dry in the course of doing that either. And of course, in terms of LANDCHECKS data being available, each of our listings has a button so you can get that info as well. I think it's done a little prettier on CRE Collaborative than we may do it, but you definitely have an opportunity to get great info. But stuff like Zip Analyzer and MySocial are really top notch on CRE Collaborative, and we're glad to be partners with them so that we can offer those services to our members through CRE Collaborative. Did I forget anything, Andreas? You're always much better at this than I am.
No, just please. I just, you know what it is? I'm a broker like you, and when I look at your product, I see all the value because I spend all day looking at mine as the founder. Yeah. It's what I love about the quantum listing evolution is that it's one of the first crowdsourced portals. It's one of the, in my mind, fastest growing portals. It involves a methodology that says, hey, we'll connect, we'll get you where you need to be. There are 30 listing marketplaces on the market today of any real size and volume. So you need to be in where your audience is, back to this audience theme. And David has solved for his ecosystem, which is growing. You were named in quite a few different top 10, top 20 things from different industry experts recently, as is every one of those other platforms. The problem is, how do you get on all of them? Or how do you get on the one where your buyer is, your investor is, your funder, your capital guy is? And that's through collaboration. Through CRE Collaborative, we'll promote you to multiple places. We're identifying these technologies. We're bringing them in-house when it makes sense, or otherwise making your data available to ship out. Just the other day, I was on a call with the head of NAR. His name escapes me, but the Miami Association was there, and they were talking with Brevitas and others. And there are a lot of systems that are the be-all and end-all. And for David and I and Pradeep and a certain segment of the technology space, the be-all and end-all is the end user, you. So if you need something, we're building it for your business. You already know what's successful, what type of data you need, the type of person at the type of time you're going after. We're giving you the tools to get to them faster, better, more often. and in ways that simply were not possible. Technology today allows us to go out and get as much business as we want. It doesn't mean you don't have to work for a living. You still have to do things, but you want to spend your time on things that are going to return you the most investment. Promoting your deal into ecosystems like this that connect to others like ours has an exponential return on your time and your investment. Owning your data, sorry to run with this, using CRECo to own your data, to take your internal knowledge, keep it in a box, except when you need to let it out, is huge. It's a game changer. The worst thing in the world is to have data siloed in 12 to 30 different places where you're not understanding the movement, the interactions, or the analysis between it all. And that's what 2.0 technology gives you the ability to do. We take data from here, we take data from there, and we give you those insights. Through our My Social tool, we're going to get you out to those audiences in a hyper community way that allows you to grow. Through using quantum listing, you're going to get out to investors, developers, people looking for assets directly, and then they're going to get you out and have your deals follow people around to make sure that they buy them. So there are these tongue and groove steps to the technology that you need to have to make it really be of value. Otherwise, you have a bunch of technologies doing a bunch of things. The greatest example I can give you is, hey Alexa, which I don't have, so you won't hear it. Sorry for anyone that just turned theirs on. Turn on the lights. They had the ability to turn on light bulbs by remote long before Alexa came around. And Alexa didn't become popular until someone said, wait a minute, if we put these together, that's valuable. And it mushroomed from there. That was how that growth really took off. That's automation, home automation, insights, intelligence. Now you have thermostats that learn for you. And it's the same concept. Until we get our real estate data talking and working together, we're never going to be able to unlock the true potential of it. And using CRECo, Quantum, LANDCHECKS, Zip Analyzer, you can already see the dots connecting in a way that says, wait a minute, Colorado? Sure, I've never done business there. But wait a minute, this asset looks good. The economics look good. Zoning looks good. Oh, here I've got two capital guys and a developer with a background there. I'd like to get permission to do business in that market, bring my investor there. Why wouldn't I? Couldn't do that 5 years ago. Definitely not 10 years ago. Well, you could get on a plane and do it. And, many did. The top 400,000 people in the industry, the institutional guys, got on planes and went to those sites. Technology has leveled the playing field. You can now do that remotely on your computer with as much accuracy, if not more accuracy, because as no one ever gets fired for buying a Microsoft product, right? But some small companies become incredibly big companies because they find the latest technology and they deploy it. And they have the flexibility to make moves that larger institutions can't, and the high touch relationships with their clients that let them really become movers and shakers. So whether you're a new business, a big business, or somewhere in the middle, it's what is your technology toolbox for 2021? How to set yourself up to close and be a success in 2021 is to just have that tech enablement forward thinking. But it has to be a start to finish thought. Where am I with my tech today? Where do I want to be? And how do I make sure that it covers all aspects of my business? Because getting your data siloed, desolate data doesn't do any good. Or data overload also does not do any good, which is why Zip Analyzer and LANDCHECKS, it's the visualizations of data to make it easy for you to understand and then to give to your clients are so important. Everybody's got data somewhere. It's getting your data in one place and making it actionable that makes it valuable. Sorry to rant on there. But how much does it cost? I've got a question coming in for your side.
Quantum listing is $89.99 per year per agent for an unlimited number of listings. So if you have, 10 listings, 100 listings, or 1,000 listings, it's still that $89.99 a year per agent. If you are a brokerage firm with more than with a dozen or more agents, we cap that out at $899.99 a year. So no matter what, or sorry, maybe it's $999.99. I'm thinking about 2019 pricing. Either way, it's super reasonable, and you get the bang for your buck. I know on the big service, if you have a listing that is for sale and for lease, they ding you twice for adding it as a for sale listing and a for lease listing. You can't do it as both. On Quantum Listing, you can select a for sale and lease listing, and you can just put it on twice, and it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to. So we want you to spend that money really promoting your listings to the people that are most likely to buy it, instead of just paying for our corporate jet and board of directors and a concert with a popular band at ICSE Recon in May. So
you're not giving away Teslas, is what you're trying to say.
No, I have a 12-year-old Prius that I'd probably give away, but I think that's about it. So,
and then so $89 a month. You're not for an office.
No, that's per year. That per month. That's I don't think you guys are Rockefeller. That's per year. So
per year. Okay. That's why we need buy more. I can buy more as I need it. If one of my deals needs more attention, or I know that maybe that now's the time to promote one over the other based on other intelligence, I can do that.
Yes, sir. And if you wanted to promote your brand for a year in addition to your membership, that's $425 a year. So you're saving some money with that. I'll show you just so that you don't accuse me of being deceptive. For online advertisement, which is the Google Display ads, you have your choice of $25, $50, or $100. And again, in your control, you do it when you want, how you want, and just waiting for. There we go. So this is. For listing promotion, $2.50 a week or $7.50 per month. We don't go beyond a month at a time for listing promotion because we hope that you will have sold or leased it by the time that month is up. In the email blast service that I talked about, if you wanted to send one of your listings out once, it's $25. If you wanted to send that listing or 5 of your listings out once, it's $100, and $200 if you want to send out 12 of them.
How many people? I've got another question here for you. How many people in a blast? How many?
It depends. It really varies state by state. So.
So they should reach out to you to talk pricing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And you can see this little schedule a demo button up here, or contact us, and we're super responsive. There's also the intercom button down here that you can use to start a conversation with us. But we love talking to our customers because you guys are who we do it for, and you always give us really good ideas also. So our ulterior motive is that maybe we can think of a new feature to add after we talk with you. So please talk to us. It only makes us better. And brand promotion, is between $50 a month or $400 a year, and if you just want to do it for 3 months, $125. And the nice thing is that you try these things, you see if they work for you. If it doesn't work, you don't do it again. If it does work, you step on the gas and keep on doing it until it stops.
That's a great point, though. Does it work for you? And that's as we're hitting the top of the hour. We've hit the top of the hour. I want to end on that point. Is what you're doing working for you? is what you've done in the last 12 months working for you? Are you in the right marketplaces? Because if you're just in a bunch and you have no idea which is returning what, call us, David, call me, visit us, because we're both happy to talk tech anytime. As CRE Collaborative, we have technology advisory. We will sit here and talk to you. If you give us the business case, we will give you the technology options, the solutions that can get you there. That's why we do these webinars for Nightcar. It's why we do them for other associations. David, I know you do haves and wants and webinars out to the industry with just that benefit, inviting in other thought leaders for the same. We're here to get better by making you better, I think is a fair statement. And together, we're all going to make more, do more, and close more.
Absolutely. We're big believers. We're just like you, Andres. We're big believers in community, and community. You can try going wherever you want by yourself, but if you go there with your community, you're going to get there faster and stronger. And
hey, I'm in New York. If I go to a party and there's somebody with a New York Giants hat on, I'm gonna end up that way. We're not gonna go Mets or Yankees on this call. It's not happening. I'll say this: Chicago Cubs. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I know it's the holidays. Happy holidays to everyone on this call. To Nightcar, its members, the Greater Chicagoland area. We're all getting through all of this together, and we're smarter for it, we're stronger for it, and it's been an incredible journey, to say the least. Working with each of you and with my partners, David, with Pradeep, and others. I mean, together we always will endure, we'll find a way, and as to quote Jim Fried, because I have to, there are those who, some people find a way, others find an excuse. Be the one who finds the way. Better yet, let us show you the way so you can be the one who closes more business. David, they reach you at quantumlisting.com?
Yes, David at quantumlisting.com, or give me a call. Our number's up there on the website. So always love talking with you people.
And as far as our side of it, you can reach us at CREcollaborative.com or anything social, everything social now, even Twitch. Not going there, but 203-307-2242, 203-307-2242. I am a traditionalist. An unplanned phone call is never an imposition. Feel free to reach out to our team. We'll get on the phone. We'll walk you through it. As David's pointing out, if you have a question, suggestion, a need, you can get to it on his site. His platform is also available on the App Store and Google Play for everybody out there finally getting on mobile. Ours is mobile responsive, which means it's not an app, you use a browser. That being said, merry holidays and a happy new year. Please connect with us and we'll see how far we can take each other into the 2021 and beyond.
Thank you, Andreas, and thank you, Nightcar. Nice to have this opportunity.